welcome to the podcast. I will be doing a two-part video series on the North Node in Pisces, South Node in Virgo. For this first video, we're going to be looking at the top 4 lessons from the North Node going through Pisces. And then in the next video, we're going to talk about the top 4 lessons with the South Node going through Virgo. But first, let's talk about North Node, South Node. It's been going through Aries and Libra. We've had the eclipses in the Aries and Libra axis. Aries is me and Libra is we. So we've been learning a lot about becoming an independent person, like the Aries archetype, and releasing relationships that are no longer working for us. It's been all about letting go of the codependence and the attachments of the shadow Libra side in the South Node and going toward the Aries, the hero, being a pioneer like an Aries, being independent like an Aries, and an entrepreneurial like the Aries archetype, making up your mind, making the decisions, going out and doing the damn thing. That has been the guidance from the North Node being in Aries for all of us. The North Node has been in Aries since July 17th, 2023, and it will end being in the North Node on January the 11th, 2025. So that's the same to be said about across the street, Libra South Node since July of 2023, up until January 11th, 2025. So that's where we've been experiencing the eclipses. You can go back, watch those videos on those during the eclipse season in Aries and Libra, full moons and new moons. We've been learning so much about ourselves. We've been guided by the North Node to be high vibing Aries and be the hero of our own story. We don't need relationships to hold us up with the South Node being in Libra. We don't need to sit in that indecision of the South Node Libra vibes. What we need to do is make up our mind, have the life force energy to do it, and go out and do the damn thing, like the Aries high vibing archetype. And that's what North Node, South Node energy is all about. You always look at the sign of where the North Node is, and wherever it is in the skies, that is everybody's North Star. So if you were to actually look at your own astrology birth chart, look at the sign of your North Node and the house placement of your North Node. That is your personal North Star. It is where you are being called to go. Your South Node energy in your astrology birth chart is your comfort zone. You've been there, done that. Perhaps you believe in past lives, or perhaps you believe that you were just born with those skills and talents. But if you stay in that South Node energy, you're staying in your comfort zone. And you mature into your North Node energy as you age. In your midlife, you feel the call to go to that North Node, even though it isn't comfortable, even though you're not used to that energy, but you're all being called wherever your North Node is in your astrology birth chart. And the same can be said wherever it currently is. So it has been in Aries. The North Node has been there since July of 2023, and it's going to move into Pisces North Node January the 11th, 2025 until July 26th, 2026, which means that the South Node will be in Virgo for that long. So in this video, we're going to look at the top 4 lessons of the North Node moving through Pisces since early January to July of 2026. So number 1, the top lesson, the number 1 lesson of Pisces North Node energy in the sky. And again, this goes for 18 months. We're going to have 18 months of these lessons. And I believe that this is the top lesson of the North Node being in Pisces. Number 1, get spiritual. This is all about all of us diving deeper into our spiritual selves and learning things like astrology or diving deep into our spiritual beliefs, because Pisces is the great spiritual leader. Pisces truly has one foot in this world and one foot in the other. Pisces sincerely looks beyond the veil, can see beyond the veil of illusion. So we're all going to be called to get deeply spiritual during those 18 months of January 2025 to July of 2026. Hello, beautiful soul. I am sorry to interrupt, but I wanted to pop on really quick to talk to you a little bit about my services. I have just reopened my monthly membership to the public. We meet twice a month at the new moon and at the full moon, and each and every single one of my members gets an individual astrology chart reading and an individual tarot card pull. As well, once I look at your birth chart and I do the tarot card, you get coaching with me. I am a professional counselor. I have my social work degree, and I've been doing online coaching for over 20 years. I am so excited about this monthly membership, and I've just reopened the doors to the public, so you can check out the link on my website. As well, if you would like a 1-hour astrology reading with me, I have just reopened that service. And if you would like to do the quantum healing hypnosis technique, it's the Dolores Cannon method. I am a QHHT practitioner, and I've just opened up some new spots for that as well. Please do check out my services on my website. And if you have any questions at all, don't hesitate to give me an email. You'll see my email address also on my website. Thank you so much for watching and for your support and all your comments and feedback. And hopefully you will continue to enjoy this video and this podcast. The second main lesson of the North Node going through Pisces is to work on our patience, work on our empathy, and work on our compassion, because that is high vibing Pisces at its finest. Pisces in their highest version is the most patient, the most empathetic, the most compassionate of all the people. And we're all going to be called to step into that energy and to work on that energy. And it might take some focus and some practice for those of us that maybe haven't been very patient or haven't been open-hearted and compassionate to others. We're all going to be called to go there big time while the North Node is going through Pisces. So look for that one in your own chart. Where is Pisces in your natal birth chart? Because it'll show you where you can sincerely tap into that spiritual, that patient, empathetic, and compassionate person. The third main lesson from Pisces going through the North Node, it is to tap into your intuition. So getting spiritual means tapping into your intuition. There's no better way that I know of than meditation. So meditation in a chair, sure, maybe that works for you. Or maybe meditation while walking, while doing your outdoor walk. While cooking, perhaps you can get into that really creative flow. It's getting into that flow. The athletes will tell you about getting into that flow. Any way you can get into a flow and quiet the mind and slow down your thoughts, that's when you're going to get into that receptive mode and learn to tap into your intuition. We're all going to be guided to get spiritual, be more patient and compassionate and empathetic, and tap into your intuition, perhaps more than ever before, while the North Node is going through Pisces. And the fourth main lesson of the North Node going through Pisces is to listen to your dreams. Get a dream journal, or even if it's just a blank notebook, write down your dreams. Your dreams will be talking to you. Pisces rules dream space, dreams, dream time, sleep. So now is the time with Pisces North Node energy to listen to your dreams, track your dreams. And a hot tip about analyzing your dreams is, if it seems really convoluted and confusing and you're not sure what the message is, ask yourself, how did you feel during that dream? So it might be a very confusing dream, but how did it make you feel? So track all the things. What happened? Who was in it? What did you see? As well as, how did this dream make me feel? So I always say, in astrology, if you learn just one thing about astrology, it might surprise you. It's not your sun, moon, rising. It's not personal transits. It's actually looking at your North Node. The one thing, if you want to learn what is the hottest tip, the greatest trick, what is the deepest dive you can do in your own astrology birth chart, it is looking at your North Node. So pull out your astrology birth chart, find out the sign of your North Node, and find out the house placement of your North Node, because that sincerely is your North Star. That is where you are being guided to go toward. And the North Node energy is not a comfortable energy. And when we're younger, maybe in our teen years or in our early 20s, we don't know how to navigate our North Node energy. We haven't reached the maturity to know how to navigate the North Node energy. So many people stay in the South Node energy. So definitely follow up in the part 2 of this video series of what is the lessons from the South Node going through Virgo. And I'm going to get deeper into South Node energy in your birth chart as well. But if you, as a rule of thumb, if you stay in your South Node energy, in your own astrology birth chart, you're sincerely staying in your comfort zone and you're not really understanding the assignment of your life. If you're looking for what is your life purpose, what am I here to do? Why did I sign up for this human experience? Going toward your North Node in your astrology birth chart is going to give you a lot of hot tips and tricks by looking at the sign and the house placement. And so that's why I wanted to make this video series, because wherever the North Node is, whether it's in your own astrology birth chart or wherever the North Node is in the skies right now, currently, it's an 18-month cycle. A sign, and the North Node goes through a sign in the zodiac, one of the 12 signs, for 18 months. So look back 18 years ago when it starts, when Pisces starts in the North Node, it'll start on January the 11th, 2025. Look back 18 years from that date. What was going on in your life? What happened within those 18 months of, coming up, it's January 11th, 2025 to July 26th, 2026. So look back the last time the North Node went through Pisces. What happened? What was the theme? So the exact same thing might not happen. So for instance, perhaps 18 years ago, you welcomed your first baby. 18 years later, you might not have another baby, but you might birth something new. It's going to be a similar theme, what happened in your life. Even if Pisces isn't in your North Node, in your natal birth chart, we all are guided by the North Node wherever they are in the skies at any given time. So look back, what is your North Node Pisces story? Perhaps you have a lot of Pisces in your birth chart and it's gonna hit you, and it did hit you 18 years ago. And lots changed 18 years ago when the North Node was going through Pisces, and perhaps it's gonna happen again if you have a lot of Pisces in your birth chart. So pull out your birth chart and find out where Pisces is and look at the house placement. And you can always do a quick Google search, what does third house mean or whatever, and you can learn about that online. Find out where Pisces is in your birth chart. And also look back in your life, what was happening 18 years ago, what started, what ended, what changed, and expect similar themes with Pisces going through North Node again. In the next video, we're going to talk about what does it mean to have South Node going through Virgo? What are the top 4 lessons about that for us to look out for? And what does the South Node even mean in the first place? And what does it mean in your astrology birth chart? I'm going to go through that in the next video. And I just wanted to, before signing off, I just wanted to give you a little bit of a heads up that we did have a full moon lunar eclipse in Pisces, 25 degrees of Pisces, in fact, on September 17th, 2024. So even though the North Node is still in Aries at that time, we had the first of the eclipses in Pisces. It gave you a little sneak peek. So what happened around September 17th in your life? Did something come in? Did something go out? That's usually what happens at eclipses. Usually at eclipses, something will come in, it might be really shocking, something might go out, it might be really shocking, things like relationships or jobs, might be big things, big life changes. It might also be something completely out of the blue, unexpected. But rule of thumb that eclipses are the great timeline shifters. They put you onto new timelines. So maybe there was a huge timeline shift for you around September 17th, 2024. That was the first of the Pisces Virgo eclipses. We got a little sneak peek there. So look back at your life there. And as well, look back 18 years ago, once Pisces moves into North Node in January of 2025. There might be some similar themes for you to look at as well. So I hope you've enjoyed the part 1 of the Pisces Virgo lessons. We've learned about the top 4 lessons from Pisces in the North Node. And again, North Node energy is high, vibing. We're not looking at the shadow vibe of Pisces. What we're looking at is the high vibe. Let's be in our high vibe Pisces energy. All those spiritual, compassionate, empathetic, patient, very forgiving, very open-hearted, very letting go, letting goddess, a lot of those kind of energies with the North Node going through Pisces. The veil's going to be lifted for so many of us. We're going to tap into our intuition more than ever with the North Node going into Pisces. So there's just a little bit of a heads up of what to expect with the North Node going through Pisces. And see if you can tap into that energy looking back to that lunar eclipse that happened on September 17th, 2024. So stay tuned for part 2 of this video series when we look at the top 4 lessons of the South Node being in Virgo during that time frame as well. What can we learn from the South Node being in Virgo? And where's Virgo in your birth chart? What does the South Node energy bring in the first place? What does the South Node in your astrology birth chart mean anyways? We're going to go over all those things in the next video as well. So leave your comments, let us know, where is Pisces in your astrology birth chart? What happened around the September 17th lunar eclipse for you? Are you already feeling these vibes? And let us know what's your favorite high vibe and Pisces energy. Thanks so much for watching and stay tuned for part 2 of this video series. Take care.